This is Misie Goode, your host. Welcome, and please enjoy the show.
Truth is, I'm tired. Options are few. I'm trying to pray, but where are you? I'm all turned out, hurt and abused. I can't think what's left to do. Strength to cry, no tears to cry, even if I try, but still my soul refuses to die. One touch will change my life, take me to the King. I don't have much to bring. My heart is torn to pieces. It's my offering. Lay me at the throne. Leave me there alone, just to gaze upon your glory. Sing to you this song. Take me to the King. Truth is, it's time to stop playing these games. We need a word for the people's pain. So Lord, speak right now. Let it fall like rain. Yeah, we're desperate. We're chasing after you. No rules, no religion. I've made my decision to run to you, the healer that I need. Take me to the King, yeah. Don't have much to bring. My heart is torn to pieces. It's my offering. Lay me at the throne. Leave me there alone, just to gaze upon your glory and sing to you this song. Lord, we're in the way. We keep making mistakes. The glory's not for us, it's all for you. You take me to the King, yeah. Don't have much to bring. My heart was torn to pieces. It's my offering. Leave me there alone. Leave me there upon your throne. And sing to you this song. So take me to the King. Take me to the King. Take me to the King. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. In pain, but took in your dismay. Will you ever see the light of day again? and you're tired of hoping. Yeah. Look up and you see who's coming from the sky. Emmanuel is his name, and for you he came to die. Some words can be hurtful, but your tears are more useful. Tears are a language for God understands. Silent tears are hard to dry. Every drop is counted from your eyes. Oh, there's someone who makes the inaudible become audible. Silent words from tears, they float and float. Can't cry no more, no strength to moan, and you only hear a faint whisper through your tears of words that are uplifting, nothing soothing, and you're tired of talking. Look up and you see her help coming from sky. Emmanuel is his name, and for you he came to die. Some words can be hurtful, but your tears are more useful. Tears are a language where God understands. Oh, silent tears are hard to dry. Every drop is coming from your eyes. Oh, there's someone who makes the inaudible become audible. Silent words from tears, they float and float. Moan and groan, scream and shout. You don't know if you're in or out. There is a man I know exactly what you're all about. Yeah, take a look inside and you will see he is the key. Moan and groan, you can scream and shout. You don't know whether you are in or out. There is a man I know who knows exactly what you're all about. Yeah, take a look inside and you will see he is the key. Silent tears are hard to dry. Every drop, every single drop is counted from your eyes. There's someone who makes the inaudible become audible. Silent words from tears flow and flow and silent tears are hard to dry. Every drop, every single drop is counted from your eyes. There's someone who makes the inaudible become audible. Silent words from tears, they flow and flow and flow. Yeah. Flow, 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 la 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 la, yeah, la 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 la, yeah, yeah, yeah. Silent tears are hard to die. Every drop is counted from your eyes. There's someone who makes the inaudible become audible. Silent words from tears, let them flow and flow and flow. Thank you. Yes.
your name change. I know you as Natalie Phillips.
Yes.
And I hesitate to say your name because I'm thinking it's Philip, but it's Pearl. You've changed it to Pearl. Why did you change it to Pearl? Tell everybody.
So I went through a divorce. So long story short, went through a divorce, and Pearl is actually my middle name.
Okay.
So I figured it would never change. So if I get married again or not or whatever, Natalie Pearl will always stay. I'll always be Natalie Pearl. So that's
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Some people may know you as Natalie Phillips and say, "Oh, it's not Natalie Phillips." No, it's Natalie Pearl. It's Natalie Pearl now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your gift. You always bless me with every time you sing. I get goosebumps. Natalie, thank you. Thank you so much for gracing KUUMBA Showcase. The songs, tell us about Take Me to the King.
Okay. So Take Me to the King. For those of you who don't know, Misie here used to be my manager. And she's my cousin. She's actually my cousin and my manager. And
Can I just interject? I didn't manage you because you was my cousin. I managed you because you have a beautiful voice, and I wanted to support you in whichever way possible. That's why. I mean, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
So, as I said before, I went through a divorce, and I'd actually taken a break from singing. So I stopped singing, stopped listening to music. I just put everything down for a bit and just cleared my head. And actually, I just spoken to God and said, look, because he was sending me signs through a lot of the songs that I'd written before. A lot of the songs were saying like, hold on, don't give up and things like that. So I'm like, oh, okay, does this mean I need to come back and start singing again? Obviously, nothing before its due time. And I said, oh God, well, show me a sign that you want me to come back and sing. Now, taking a back step a little bit, myself and Misie had numerous conversations about the direction of music I was going to go in and what I need to do and whatever. And Misie was really trying to get me to do reggae for years.
Yeah.
And I'd never done a reggae tune, never done a lovers rock. And I said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I got a call from a guy called Gary Dixon to kind of feature on Take Me to the King. And I was like, oh my gosh, Lord, you've given me like an open door. Wow, this is fantastic. This is a clear sign. I need to come back and do singing again. And then he turned around and said, yeah, it's lovers rock. And I was like, he's got a sense of humor. So as soon as I told Misie was nearly doing cartwheels and stuff. So happy. But yeah, that's the backdrop of Take Me to the King. And I found that the words just resonated with me from where I was at that point in my life. I didn't want to play games with God or church anymore. And I just wanted to have that relationship with God and be taken to the King, just be in his presence. So that's what that song means to me.
Thank you so much.
Silent Tears.
Silent Tears.
Yeah, I wrote that when I was going through another time in my life that was a bit tricky, and it just needed to be a really simple song. The lyrics were not complicated. It was like a cry to God. So yeah, again, Silent Tears was birthed out of time of difficulty, but actually I found when I sing this song, it encourages people as well. So, and it encourages myself when I sing it. So yeah, that's the backdrop for Silent Tears.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I have to bring you for a lovely evening chat and reveal all. Woo. If you don't mind.
Okay, no problem, I don't mind.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Ears have not heard, eyes have not not, ears have not heard, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, eyes have not seen what's in store for you and me. Ears have not heard, eyes have not seen what's in store for you and me. This one is love. We are truly wonderful from the lessons learned. I can see that we are powerful from the lessons learned. I can see we're supernatural than the eye could ever see, because we dare to believe. Ears have not heard, eyes have not seen what's in store for you and me. No, 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 no. Ears have not heard, eyes have not seen what's in store for you and me. 'Cause from the lessons learned, we are truly wonderful from the lessons learned. I can see that we are powerful from the lessons learned. I can see we're supernatural than the eye could ever see, because we are. 'Cause from the lessons learned, I need you to say it. We are truly wonderful from the lessons learned. I can see that we are powerful from the lessons learned. I can see we're supernatural than the eye could ever see, because we dare to believe. Lessons learned. Lessons learned. Lessons I need you to say it now. Yeah. Think about the time you got hurt. You wanna make that same mistake twice now. Yeah, lessons learned. You are thinking about your future now. You're gonna figure it out somehow. You won't worry about that bad right now. Yeah, lessons learned, lessons. 'Cause every day we are learning lessons, the lessons, the lessons. Come on, every day you can know. Ain't it just it, every minute? 'Cause every day we are learning lessons, the lessons, the lessons. Ears have not heard, eyes have not seen. Ears have not heard, eyes have not, ears have not heard, eyes have not seen. Ears have not heard, eyes have not
Adelaide Mackenzie. Yeah, let's start with lessons learned, please. Where did that come from? Where did that start?
You know, I just remember being on a bus, traveling home back into London, far from home felt for me. Because I'm a home girl. I love my home. You know, it's comfort. So I was out of my comfort zone. And I just remember hearing, ears have not heard, eyes have not seen. I actually heard the melody in my spirit, what the Lord has done for me. So I just started to write it. And then I started to just hum it. Lessons learned, we are truly wonderful. And it just came to me like probably in Divine, the melody in Divine of 10 minutes. And then it got refined along the time when I was, and most of all when I was in a Wow Wisdom of Women conference, because you know we love conferences, you and me, we love socializing, we love networking,
yes.
And we especially love connecting. And when I'm around, you remember when we were in school in science class and they taught us about the circuit and why, remember, just why the light has to flow.
Speak for yourself. We were in the same class.
I used to always be fascinated, but because the real deal is that when you switch on the light, when you switch on something, the current's flowing. There's something about a flow, and I must have and I got the refining of the words. We are truly wonderful. We are truly powerful. Can you see that I could sometimes I change it and say, can you see that you're phenomenal when I'm singing it live? Because in that experience of being with the women in the conference, I just got it. I knew the melody already, but I kept on changing the words all the time, but it was just great. Yeah, that was a lady called Sophia Bailey that had that. And I was just like, yeah, it was confirmed. She held the conference and I was just like, God is good. So yeah, that was that song in a nutshell.
Oh, well done. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I know we haven't got much time, but Randy Crawford, Endlessly. Now, let me just say, when I was a little girl, Randy Crawford, the uniqueness of her voice so resonated with my spirit. And I was so, you know, whenever she brought out a new song, I really, really loved it. And when I heard you, from the time I heard you, I knew your song was coming out. And from the time I heard the melody, I'm like, oh my God, spot on, because your voice is right for Endlessly. Tell me about it.
Let me tell you about it started off from a sad, for me, I've always heard it on Sunday in rotation because my mum always played the radio, my dad always plays the radio, and then I just reminisce that, you know, my mum and dad split up, and I just reminisce that my mum would always play the Rice and Peace selection show on a Sunday, and I would always hear it. But I think my producer, one of my producers, Mark A. Crawford, and big up to Mark, because he heard it on he heard me sing it when I brought it to one of the Blessed Souls events that I do, and I brought it for the band, and I was trying to refine it, but originally I sang it for my son's dad who passed away. I originally sang it for his funeral because I just wanted to you know, dedicate to him and say, you know what, you will always be remembered endlessly. You are a good soul.
Wow.
And then Mark said he liked it, and I was like, okay. And Mark worked on it just tirelessly, and he did a great job in reproducing it.
Wow.
And then I got a lady called Marcia Warder Thomas and her husband Orville Thomas to help me with the vocal production, because I was just like, I don't want to mess up this song, because there might be some footage where I've done it before live, and I didn't really do it justice in my own, you know, because I was still trying to find my way with the song. But it was really great when I got some people on board that are just great with music and vocal production, and they just supported me, and we just went in the studio and we delivered it. And I was just like, I actually was dedicated to making a good job out of this song, because I knew it was like Brooke Benton's covered it, someone called Dobby Thompson, and you know, it's such a classic song that I bet even Elvis must have touched it once. If he didn't even touch it, in spirit must have touched it. You understand? Or it touched his spirit.
Well, it no matter, you touch it,
Me touch it.
and it was touched nicely.
Thank you. The golden touch.
Oh, go ahead, girl.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I'll give you a little bit. Homicide. You have the good management every time. You are a blessing. You are a star. I'm just making up the lyrics right now. But we are blessed and we are free. And you are a wonder, like the morning sunlight. And girl, your smile is so sacred, and it is heavenly, sister. And that's why I will always love you. Sister, you inspire endlessly.
Wow.
Remix. That's your dub plate.
Goosebumps.
That's your dub plate, my girl.
Wow, thank you so much. Wow, not expecting that. Wow, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You know that.
I appreciate you. I thank you so much for your divine connection, friendship. All the time, you always got my back and always being a blessing to me. So thank you so much. And your smile as well. You are so precious, and it's just so amazing all the time to see you. You just light up a room. So thank you so much for having me on this opportunity as well.
We speak soon. All right.
Thank you.
Have coming through Judith Jacob. Yay! Welcome to KUUMBA Showcase, a place where faith and spirituality and creativity connects.
Hello, nice to be here. Thank you.
How are you?
I am well. I am managing to, I used the word survive, and that's the wrong word. I am living. I am doing it in a different way than I was before, but I'm absolutely fine.
Good. So you are Judith Jacob. Who is Judith Jacob?
Oh, one in-depth question. Who is Judith Jacob? Right, I am an actress, I'm a fitness instructor, and I'm a radio presenter. I started acting at the age of 13 in a BBC show called Slag Bag, Play for Today, but got changed because it was the BBC and you can't be saying slag bag in those days. It's a lot worse now, but you couldn't have said slag bag then. So it was changed to Jumping Bean Bag as the title.
Oh.
That was my very first job. And then because I was at school, we had to get little examinations. We had to go to the GLA at that time, get weighed, make sure you were okay. So I had a few jobs whilst I was under the age of 16. And then I was doing my A-levels, and then I had an audition for Angels, which was a nurses series that some people may not remember, trying to make me feel old, and I won't have it. But anyway, it was a nurses series called Angels. It was the beginning of what you call a soap. There wasn't anything like soaps at that day. But Angels went on for 9 months in a year, so it was as closest to a soap as you can get. And I cut my teeth on Angels. I was 17 years of age. I worked with Angela Bruce, who she put me under her wing, and she just looked after me and just told me the stuff that you should do to make sure that if you weren't happy with your take, you basically to swear very quickly, and then then you can get the take done again. Otherwise, if it was done, if they thought technically it was fine, then they'll just move on. But if you as an actor didn't feel it was good, you had to go very quickly at the end of your line because you knew it was bad, and then you can get another take. Love her for that. I worked with Joe Monroe and Shelley King, who's now in Corrie. I worked with some amazing women.
Oh my goodness, gonna have to bring you as a guest on my show for full 45 minutes chat or more. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, so that was the beginning of my acting really, is when I left school to do Angels, and then
wow, then the Real McCoy and No Problem and the whole roll through. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I look forward to our chat, full chat. How was your 2020?
2020 started off fantastic. I was doing a play, Seeds it was called. We were touring it, and myself and, oh, how can I forget her name? Amazing, Penny Leah. And we were touring, beautiful lady, touring around, and we were due to come to London at the Soho Theatre. So we were building. And then a couple of places started to get cancelled because there was this thing going around that people were saying, oh, we might not be able to. And then by the time we got to March, it was full lockdown. So it never came to London. It was such a powerful piece. Really gutted that we never got to do it. And people keep saying, will it come back again? Well, we know what theatres are like. Theatres pre-book and pre-plan because they have to a year or so ahead. So I don't know how they would put us in when they've got other things that was cancelled that they would have to put in. So I don't know if Seeds will ever re-emerge, but it was certainly started beautiful. But then we had the lockdown. And what to me was good was I felt like our ancestors said, no, they need vitamin D. Sunshine must happen. So we got sunshine galore. It's one of our best summers ever. Spring into summer, best. So I hanged out on my roof. I don't have a garden. I have a bit of space outside, which is the roof that me and my daughter hanged on. And I kept taking pictures going, look at us in our secret location. And people thought I was breaking the roof. And I wasn't. I'm just hanging there and doing my radio show, which is on Conscious Radio 102 FM on a Thursday between 1 and 3, Thursday afternoons. And but I've now joined another radio station, Injection Radio, on a Monday between 4 and 6 drive time with my friend Keith Palmer, and it's a chat show. Oh, you must come and be a guest. So we have the big up section where somebody calls up to just big up somebody that for whatever reason and say a track that they would like to dedicate to them. We have the news section. We bring in a person in the community to talk the news. Normally somebody, but the first time we had Wayne Marshall, I know he's now calls himself Wayne Marsupial or something. Anyway, Wayne Marshall, as we know him. And then we had Dabu, who was a police sergeant. He's no longer one, but he was represented in the film with Logan. He was the Asian guy. And this week we had Suzette Llewellyn, who's my friend from the BB crew, and also in EastEnders playing Sherry. And so, yes, we've been doing that. And then we have a guest at the end of the show that we just talked to for a bit longer. One was promoting a book, Black Pioneers, Footballers, Black Pioneers. That was the book he had. And before that, we had Russ Charmer, amazing artist, really, really brilliant. And this week we had an impersonator who does Boris and Tony Blair, and oh my goodness me, it was great. It was like we're talking to 10 people in one. So it's going that I'm doing. So it's keeping me out of trouble. Keeping me busy.
That's good.
Yeah, because, you know, the business is still happening. There are still jobs out there. It's a much slower because everything's got to be done with that 2-meter distance. And so there's that whole thing going about Tom Cruise shouting at his crew and really losing it. Well, I was talking to Suzette about it, and Suzette put it in perspective to just say, well, look, actually on the EastEnders set, they're also doing the same thing, and the whole thing will get shut down if people do not abide by the rules. And it's a lot of money. We know what TV and stuff is like. It's a lot of money. So when Tom Cruise went absolutely mad, I was going to say something else, on them, then when you realise it's his money behind it, and it would cost a lot of money, the people left. There's ways of saying things. You don't have to bark at people to say things. Right. But the sentiment behind it was right, but how he said it was definitely out. So that's what I've been up to.
Wow.
Keeping myself writing with the BB crew. We've written stuff. We hope we're crossing everything that it's taken up by somebody. Okay. Somewhere near that. Oh. Keeping our creative juices going.
Nice. Good. So on that Flex, what do you say to our creatives out there watching for 2021?
Right. So 2021, we're hoping could never be worse than 2020. And I hope I don't bite my own self after I said that. But 2021, as creative, from the people that I know, and I know you've been the same, because you're creative, you've been creating. And you've been doing it in different forms, and poems, writing books, writing plays, writing TV dramas. We've been being creative. Keep the creativity going, because otherwise you're suffocating yourself. We don't want to suffocate ourselves, let other people do that. So let's keep our juices flowing, and let's be ready, because if we keep our stuff flowing, when stuff come back, we will be ready to present our stuff. So we've just got to be ready. So keep ourselves sharp, entertain your friends and team. People have been doing all this Zoom stuff, and we have to find another way of monetizing, because we do have to get paid at the end of the day. And 2020 was enough freeness, Zoom freeness. Now 21, no more freeness. You have to start to pay for things. And I know that I'm saying that when people are not earning much money. So it's going to be a tough one. But as long as people can still pay their bills, it's not about being able to drive a new car, because that might not be happening for most of us. Some people are making money, but it ain't us. So as long as we are able to do what we need to make our mind, it's about peace of mind, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to do the stuff that makes us feel like we're doing. That's what we need to be doing.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and we speak soon.
Enough love to you, my gorgeous, and may 2021 be better and fulfilled for you too.
Thank you. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, Andrew Mohammed.
Bless my queen.
Greetings. And who is Andrew Mohammed?
Okay, yes, Andrew Mohammed. There's many hats, but Andrew Mohammed, they also know me as the investigator, or Guan Papa G, or even Lick Shot Pum Babylon.
Lick Shot Babylon.
Yeah, what I do, my beautiful queen, is that I go into well, I've got a company first. A company's called Real Talk, Real Action. And what we do, it's all about 3 words: success, identity, and motivation. And we work in schools across the UK, colleges, universities, parents groups. And it's about just giving food and knowledge and wisdom and inspiration to all the people that go into the schools. We also run an academy called the Westside Young Leaders Academy, which is aimed specifically at Black boys and Black girls.
Awesome.
And we again run workshops for them, try to give them employment opportunities, motivation, mentoring. And then outside of that, we have what we call the Investigator Hidden Truth series, whereby in 2020, we've really expanded online, and we do our weekly shows called the Hidden Truth Show on a Tuesday. We do our Popcorn Fridays, obviously on a Friday, and then we do our Rice and Peas sessions on a Sunday. And it's all about, again, history, Black empowerment, edification for the soul, and just good fun and vibes, sister. So yeah, that's what the Investigator is about at this present time.
That I know, because I'm very much an attendee at your.
I mean, you're one of our big queens on the show, sister. I always see your name, and I love your contributions. I mean, it's like during 2020, which I think we're going to go into, it's really allowed us to connect spiritual and phenomenal people like yourself into my life, and it has been a beautiful success. I can't lie, we've loved it.
So was that your highlight for the 2020?
Yes, well, 2020, I'll be honest with you, my queen. 2020, when you look at the word or the numbers 2020, it represents vision.
Yeah.
You know, people talk about clear vision. It's not just vision, but also insight, foresight, and hindsight. It's about how you see yourself and how you see your opportunities. So 2020, to me, has been a beautiful year. It's done what it's meant to do. It's meant to allow us, and I'll talk about us as a people specifically, to see how the world sees us, and allows us to see what we need to be doing in this world. I mean, with the situation of Black Lives Matter, see, we can see the injustices bang, clear in your face. If you don't want to see, if you want to ignore it, that's down to you. But 2020 shown you this is the situation regarding how you're treated as a people. And then when we look at the so-called pandemic and the COVID situation, again, we were dying like flies in the diaspora, and they said it was not to do with the genetic formation of black people, but it was to do with the inequalities and the living conditions and the kind of work that we're doing. Again, totally unequal. And so this year, as a people, we really need to understand that 2020 has really shown us the state of our race, the state of our nation. And that's what I see 2024. We can look at it on a deeper level, hindsight, foresight, and plan for 2021.
Wow, thank you. Yes, I agree. What is your voice? What do you say to the community for 2021?
Well, first, and I think that's a beautiful question, sister. First, I would like to say, for us to understand 2021, we still need to understand 2020, because it wasn't just a year of insight and foresight, but with the coming with the so-called epidemic, it's allowed us to understand that this is what we call this year spiritual intervention. Okay, I don't call it a year of COVID. I don't call it a year of disasters. I don't call it a year of, you know, boy, what else can go wrong? I said this year has been a beautiful year, even though I know we've lost so many of our loved ones, whether it's been friends or families and relatives. We've lost some phenomenal people.
Yeah.
And my teacher says we should call them martyrs. These are people that literally laid their lives so that we can see ourselves and what 2021 is going to really mean to us. So this year has been a year of spiritual intervention. And for those of us who can make it through 2020, then 2021 should be a year now of building. A year now that we can literally build on the things that we should have learned from 2020. But when you look at 2021, people may think that, oh God, we're so happy that 2020 is finished. Now we can move into 2021. But I believe in mathematics of the situation. And when we look at 2021, you can look at it on two levels. 21 is that key number, 20, and it's 21. 2 and 1 is 3, and 3 represents trial. Yeah, 3 is a number that represents trial. Okay, that's why you have a triangle, which is based on 3. You have the Trinity.
What are you saying? What are you saying? More trials and tribulations.
Absolutely, sister. It's not going to be just 20. People can't wait for 2021 to start before we get rid of 20. But if you look at it on a deeper level, it's going to be another year of trial. It's going to be another year of absolute trial. But within every trial, my beautiful queen, there's always opportunities. There's always gaping holes, and the whole expanse for those who refuse to go down. This is in 2021. I want to say to my beautiful people that this is the year of what I call the PMA, positive mental attitude. I'll say that one more time. A year of PMA, positive mental attitude. And so we've just got to understand that it's going to be more trials, more tribulations, but it's a year that we can see who's really going to be who can dig deep into their spiritual cosmic force, yeah, that triple blackness, and bring out that creative essence that's in us as a people. Yeah, and it's got to be based on your PMA. You got to look at when the trials are coming in. I'm talking to myself too. As those trials are coming in, wow, don't let those trials overcome you. You raise up, you dig deep, and understand that the Creator lives in you and me, and there's no force that can literally destroy that creative force that's within us. Dig deep and look at that thing on a positive mental attitude. And can you imagine, my queen, having someone that you don't like, having an enemy that no matter what happens to them, they see the bright side of it. That's what we're going to be as. That's what we've got to be as a people. No matter what happens to us, there's always a silver lining that we can learn from.
There's always a lesson
up to a higher level.
Yes, I agree with that. That is just wonderful projection, wonderful encouragement. Thank you so much for your time. I know your time is I had to squeeze you in, and I
Couldn't
appreciate.
let my queen down, sister. I couldn't let my Greek queen down. I had to be there for you, my queen.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I give thanks, King
Give thanks to you.
Andrew Mohammed.
Always love it. Don't forget, brothers and sisters, lick, shot, pon, Babylon with rice and peas, a buffalo soldier, and a dreadlock Rastafari all the time. Black power.
Thank you.
Yo, it's your boy Bada Bada. Join me and Andrew Mohammed, the investigator, on the 16th of March for the Hidden Truth Show. Yo, this show is going to be crazy. We're going to be going into music, the science of music, the history of it, why it resonates with our people so much, why that drum resonates so far with us, why it goes from so far back, from ancient times to now, why we used to gather around in rituals around our drum till today we gather around the drum. So we're going to be going deep into music. We're going to be talking about every aspect of the music and how it resonates with our people. That is March the 16th, Hidden Truth Show, Bada Bada, Andrew Mohammed, and Wally per special guests. You cannot miss this one. Bada Sada, out.
Hi. I have another beautiful, wonderful guest that has a word for you. So let's welcome her in. Hello, beautiful Queen Sheba. Welcome to KUUMBA Showcase, a place where faith, spirituality, and creativity connect.
Nice place to be. Thank you, Misie, for the
You're
invitation
welcome.
here.
You're welcome. Tell the audience, the viewers, who Sheba is.
Okay. Sheba Montserrat. I'm a dancer, a Caribbean dance practitioner. That's my day job. That's how I get paid. That's what keeps me alive.
Wow.
So I teach Caribbean dance. I'm a poet. I love words. What else do I do? I produce live shows. I'm a historian. And I'm sure that, and I do stand-up comedy. I knew there was another performance.
Yes, you are funny. You are a stand-up comedian. You are. I need to put you on my platform with the dancing. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, nice.
I can't wait.
Lovely.
So, how was 2020 for Queen Sheba Montserrat?
2020 has been actually a very good year for me. It's allowed me to be still. As you see, I do a lot of things. So I do a lot of running around. I'm at this show, I'm doing this, I'm at that presentation. So as you know, from March, as all the jobs started to come off my calendar, I was breathing and saying, yes, I can, it's time to be still. I was so grateful to wake up with nothing on my schedule. 2020 has been reflective. It's been a great time to write. It's been a nice time to observe what's going on and put it into words. I don't get enough time to write, I just enjoyed the time of stop, be still, just be still and reflect on life. Yes. And it was a time when people are listening, but anyway, don't let me go on.
That's okay. So what was your highlight for 2020? I
think my highlight was taking my variety show online, because I do a variety show and I have been doing a variety show for the last 3 years. It's my way of bringing all my disciplines together. So I would have dancers, I have comedians, I have poets, I get the audience to dance, and then have a little culture and history up in there. And I've been doing that via live shows, but I wasn't really going to take it online, but something pushed me, and then I had this urge to do it because I don't trust technology, and I'm a control freak. I like to be in control. I'm very I don't understand why being a control freak is a negative thing to say about yourself. It's one of the greatest things I like about myself. I put things, and I like to, I mean, of course, there's that little percent where you have to let go because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to do, taking it online and depending on technology, etc., etc. But it worked, it came through. I was very, very pleased with the results. I had a great time. So that was the highlight for me, taking it online. And, you know, also, what the strange thing about COVID, you know, it's keeping us physically apart, but spiritually together, because there were people in the Caribbean watching. I don't reach an audience in the Caribbean usually, you know. So it's a very, very strange time we're living through.
You sound like me, because that's the same. Like doing KUUMBA Showcase online was a push. Was a push.
Yes, yes.
So my final question to you is, what would you say to our creatives out there?
To creatives out there.
Our creatives, our community.
Okay. No matter what you do, no matter how much you love your specialism, you have to know how to reinvent yourself if you want to work. That's the key. You have to always be reshaping who you are and how you present yourself to the world. That's why I do so many things, because it was called on for me to keep reshaping, because that wasn't quite working. Okay, well, what else do I love doing? And it's because there's more than one thing that you love. And that's the key. Find all those bits and pieces that you love and let them be your outlet. Don't just get stuck in one groove.
Thank you so much. The you know, being a creative, you have to reinvent. That is a beautiful word.
Thank you so much for this invitation.
You're welcome. We have another leader in the community who is going to join us. It's Davis Williams. Hello, hi, welcome to KUUMBA Showcase, a place where faith, spirituality and creativity connect. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. All the better for seeing you, glowing as always.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
So, who is Davis Williams?
That's like a massive question. I'm a father, I'm a friend, I'm an uncle, founder of Manhood Academy, author, Arsenal supporter.
How was your 2020 been?
Wow, like that's like, it's just wow. You know, it was hot and it was cold. You know, you experience all the different emotions that, you know, that the Most High has to share. Yeah, man, I went through all of them, from moments of extreme elation and joy to like sadness and anger and frustration and just not caring. Do you know what I mean? It's like the whole array of emotions. During the first lockdown, we started doing we've always been doing vegan food, but it was only during the first lockdown. What is that, March, April? I forgot now. So there's three main things that I focus on, maybe four, who knows? But the first and foremost, I'm a father of two amazing children. Both my children are authors. My daughter, Michaela, my beautiful 14-year-old, she thinks she's 18. She's an author of a book called My First Trip to the Gambia. A few years ago, went Gambia for the first time. And what was amazing, sis, is that she didn't really want to go. You know, she thought there would be lions everywhere, that, you know, there was not necessarily savages, but yeah, it just wasn't her, because of the media.
Media projection.
Yeah, even though I taught her, she knows. But when the reality of I'm going to Africa for the first time, that programming kicked in. Wherever that program came from, it wasn't my doing. Wherever it came from, it activated. But went out there, she loved it. You know, she even said, "Oh, Daddy, it's better than Jamaica." You know, and she was so excited about it. She wrote a book about her experience. Myself, when I came back from the Gambia, yeah, I celebrated my daughter writing her book, but also I started the Manhood Academy. So also, yeah, I'm a father, but also I'm the founder of Manhood Academy, which is a rites of passage program for young people. Yes. A lot of people don't know about rites of passage. They've heard it, but they don't appreciate how ancient and how it's like a vaccine, you know. It's a vaccine against all of the madnesses out there. All of the young boys, you know, in all the indigenous islands, whether countries, whether you go to like Africa, whether you go to Asia, you don't get the privilege of saying I am a man until you go through a rites of passage. There's a lot of grown males. I say males on purpose. Yeah? There's a lot of grown males out there saying that I'm a man, like, but their actions don't reflect that of a man. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to bend the curve, we're trying to break the cycle, and we want our young boys growing up to be world changers, you know?
Yes.
Even if you look at our community today, it's like, where are the black leaders? Like, where's the alpha male? Like,
tell me about it. Go on.
Yes, we have Farrakhan in America, he's going to be retiring soon. Or yeah, you don't see that much about him, you know. But who else? Umar, he has his little moments, you know. But who are the who are the real ethical leaders in our community today? Yeah, we're just trying to cultivate that, and we're not the only ones. You've got 100 Black Men of London. You've got Westside Young Leaders Academy.
Rest in peace, Paul Lawrence.
Yes, absolutely. You know, so we're just doing our part. So we do Manhood Academy. We work with young people across London. Just putting them through the paces, teach them about what is manhood, what is what is positive masculinity, how do you treat ladies, how do you communicate, how do you get into art, how do you express your emotions and all of that stuff.
Beautiful.
But anyway, yeah, don't get me started, sis. Don't get me started.
I'm gonna have to get you on the show 45 minutes plus long.
Yeah, you know, it's really challenging.
Tell your full story.
Yeah, even for myself, I'm learning a lot about manhood just by me having these conversations with younger people, because I talk about manhood growing up. I just thought, oh, to be a man, you need a few girls, you need money, and you need to be an alpha male, like pop out your chest. You know, that's what I thought. But wow, I've been deceived. So there's a lot of healing that we as men need to do. Also, we've got the Womanhood Academy that work with our young princesses, teaching them about divine femininity, you know, teaching them about balance, and also teaching them how to handle us men. You know, I mean, it's a yin and yang, you know, so it's about that understanding. Also I'm an author. I've got 5 books now. Wow, I kind of lose count. I'm not going to go through all 5 of them.
It's the latest one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we've got an activity book for young boys, because on our program we've got a lot of mothers, a lot of beautiful parents who are not just women. There's a few fathers as well and families, but we're coming across a lot of like so-called single parents who say, I don't know how to raise a boy into a man because I'm a woman. And we understand that, and they've got no resources to help them. So what we've created is an activity journal for young boys, helping them to become young men. So the mom can sit there with the boy, go through this whole journal. There's content in there, there's wisdom, there's quotes, there's exercises, there's testimonies, so they can start having a conversation about manhood at home. And we feel that's important because it's a starting point.
It's very important.
Yeah, so that's something else that we've got available at the moment. I can give you the website. Yeah, if you just go into Manhood Academy, manhoodacademyglobal.com. Yeah, manhoodacademyglobal.com, and all the information's there. Also, separately, and it's funny, like when I tell people, when people ask me, Davis, what do you do? I give them a long speech because I do quite a few things in it. I'm also I'm a celebrity vegan chef. We've done food for Erica Badu. We've done food for Les Brown, the motivational speaker. But we don't only just do vegan food.
Wow. Okay. Hold on. This is awesome. I will call you back, but please just give us a message for the community. You're awesome. But you're a BAFTA award nominee. I saw that too. I'm like, oh gosh, I didn't even know that. But just talk to the community. Speak to about 2021. You know what? Anything you want to say.
So 2021 for me, it has to be the year of family. 100%. You know, we can, like during the lockdown and restrictions, people talking about, oh, look what I produced, look at my company, look at my new brand. Sometimes we have to take a step back and focus on individuals. You know, 2021, I would love for everybody listening today, whoever you walk past, bust a smile and say, good morning, wagwan, yes, queen. Like, let's create that community village, that community vibe. You know, just like, pardon me?
We used to have it.
Yes, we used to have it, you know. And when I go back home to Dominica, that's where my family from, dare me to walk past someone and not say anything.
In the
You're
Caribbean,
crazy.
yes, you can't do that. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to walk past
So-
and say hello, good morning, good
Yeah.
evening, good night.
Absolutely, you know. So yeah, make it about family, but also if you're holding onto any like bad feelings, dissolve it. Phone that person and say, do you know what? It don't make no sense. Let it go, literally. And I know there's some people out there, you're probably saying to yourself, I can't talk to that person, it's too toxic. Well, dissolve it within yourself. Find that healing within yourself,
Yes.
you know, to find that peace. But what we can't be doing is walking around holding grudges and beef with anybody. So let 2021 like have more love in your heart, have more appreciation, you know, give thanks to the people that's been there for you. And also be about charity as well, like help people more as well. That's all we need. Like all we need, sis, is each other. We don't have no one else. No one else is coming to save us. There ain't no Black Panther coming out of the sky, you know, like it's not happening. We are all we have. So we have to treat each other the best we can.
Yes.
And that's what I would love for everyone to do. It's just simple things. It doesn't cost anything. All it costs is, yeah, your time and your attention.
Thank you so much.
No problem, man. Thank you for the KUUMBA Showcase. You know, it's like it's an amazing platform what you guys are doing.
We have another guest, another leader. Hello, welcome, Reverend Philippe Shock Matthews. Did I say it right?
That's right. How are you doing, Miss I? Good to see you.
I'm good to see you. Welcome to KUUMBA Showcase.
Thank you.
A place where faith and spirituality and creativity connect.
That's my favorite place to be.
Yes. So, Reverend Philippe, but I know you as Rev Shock. Can I call you Rev Shock?
Absolutely.
Now, who is Rev Shock?
Well, I have many aliases, many AKAs that the community has given me. So Rev Shock, Metaphysical Morpheus, because of I unlock people from the Matrix, my people from the Matrix. Lord Jamar, on the Godcast refers to me as Shoctimus Prime. I don't know, so that stuck. I'm a big guy, so the community says I'm Shook Shock or Shook Shocker. You know, like Suge Knight. I'm like, okay, well, you know, as long as it's, you know, as long as we get the spirituality done, you can call me anything. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Just like me. I won't be late either.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so how was your 2020 and your highlight?
2020 was, well, it's interesting because I'm kind of moving and operating at high vibration and speed. And so, you learn over time how to rise above controversy and issues that affect lower frequency when you're dealing with the laws of cause and effect. And so my ministry teaches two things and is dedicated to two things. One is, of course, reaching what we call shock, seeking higher, omnipotent, conscious, or cosmic knowledge. So we have that in place. But the second piece is to create financial freedom without having to leave your home to do it. So
yes, please.
I've been doing this for so long that when 2020 hit, when COVID hit, there was not much, very much of a change or a shift in terms of life, lifestyle, and economics. And so I'm really excited for moving forward to 2021. I just released last night, as a matter of fact, my 18th book called First Frequency Sudden Wealth Syndrome. And what we're doing this year, and when I say this year, I mean 2021, is we're teaching the community, preparing the community for sudden wealth. Because one of the things that has happened to us is because we have not traditionally had wealth, when we acquire it, we don't know what to do with it. And we go through a series of processes where we end up self-sabotaging the wealth, sabotaging ourselves, and bringing ourselves back down to a baseline. You know, in years and years ago, I interviewed Susie Orman. And I've had several interviews with her, but one that really stuck with me was when we did the interview on Road to Wealth. And she talked to me about this concept called a set point. And most of us have heard of a set point as it relates to weight. You know, you have at a certain age, you get a set point. Well, you also have a set point financially in terms of your consciousness. And so it's been said that if you take a CEO who is used to making $100,000 and you put him in a corporation that's worth $100 million, he will eventually bring the value of that company back down to $100,000 level because he didn't have the consciousness and the capacity to be able to expand. And so he ended up self-sabotaging because he wasn't prepared for that sudden wealth. And so it doesn't matter if it's $100 or if it's $100,000. We have to be, as Africans, as first frequency people, as original people, we have to be prepared and get into a mentality that this is going to be our year. This is going to be our decade. This is going to be our time. And as a result of that, what do I have to do and who do I have to become to acquire what it is that I wish to manifest in my life? And so that's going to require a shift. And I use the term syndrome because there are various different traumas that are stored in our bodies because of what we have gone through, being captured and corralled and controlled by what we call second frequency Europeans or Amus. As a result of that, we take that trauma and we try to escape the pain and just want to feel good. And not understanding that it causes us not to be able to think, causes us not to be able to sequence ourselves out of situations and circumstances. And so what we end up doing is we begin to make our hells as comfortable as possible and create these false comfort zones. And so that's what we're going to really be breaking out of and addressing for 2021.
Wow. Wow. So, okay. That's amazing. I can listen to you all day, but we haven't got all day. And I will call you back for a full length conversation. Sure. But what message do you have for the community for 2021? 2021
is to wake up more than you have been woke. You know, being awakened and being woke is really two different things. We are conscious, we are aware, but are we really awakened? Because if we are awakened and we really know that we are gods and goddesses having this human experience, how do you move as a god on earth? How do you move as a goddess on earth? Now, again, you can be conscious, you can be aware, you can be woke and have that community, but are you a god, a goddess within that community? And how do you roll? So my message to the family is let's awaken for the first time. Let's find out what peace of mind really looks like. Let's find out what spiritual peace of mind feels like. Let's find out what financial or economic peace of mind feels like for the first time.
Wow. Wow. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate you. Yeah, I don't do the white boy on the stick, the white boy on the boat, and the white boy in the sky, or that fat dude, or that white boy coming down the chimney. That's just not my.
OCHEP community, welcome, welcome, welcome back to another First Frequency of Oneness Wealth Wednesday Black Supremacy Virtual Manifestation Tour. Yours truly, the Metaphysical Morpheus, Reverend Philippe Shock Matthews. And of course, you know my motto by now. If you don't, you should. It's nothing is wrong with Black people. Something happened to Black people, and this is not your grandmama's metaphysics. So get ready, buckle up and buckle in, and let's get into it. Let's always start with our opening affirmation of power, prosperity, and protection. I am one with First Frequency. I am one with the first thought idea. I am one with the firstborn people. I am one with the only one. Ashe, and so it is.
Unfortunately, due to the technical difficulties, we are unable to include Chief Montana's interview in the final editing of the show. Shortly after the advert coming up next, we will have our guest of honor, Nigel Birch Jr. Feel free to pause the show right now and grab yourself a drink. Have yourself a lemongrass or a lemon tea, or lemon and ginger, or honey and ginger. You know what I mean. Grab your tea and then come back. See you soon.
Caribbean Fusion Delivery and Takeaway, located at the Classic in Tooting, SW17. Pop in or call and collect the best in Caribbean cuisine, including mouth-watering curry goat, stewed chicken, fried fish, and vegan meals. All served with salad and a side of your choice. Plain rice, rice and peas, gluten-free rice, veg chow mein, or roti. For next day orders, we also have oxtail, peppered prawns, steamed fish with okra and crackers, or jerk chicken. Fancy a snack? Then choose from our sweet chili wings, fish cakes, bacon salt fish, or roti wraps. Wash all that down with our homemade drinks and cakes, then you're good to go. That's Caribbean Fusion Delivery and Takeaway, located at the Classic in Tooting. Telephone 0208 767 8372. Order your meals now.
Nigel Birch Jr. is a writer, poet, host, and mental health advocate with a new vision for love. He's a melting pot of cultural experiences which can be heard and seen through his artistry. His depth and introspection is felt on every stage and page he touches. Nigel writes from the standpoint of love and identity, bringing a new perspective to loving yourself and others. A wordsmith with clever wordplay, metaphors, breadth of experience and passion that provides audiences with truth, inspiration and optimism. He's a one-of-a-kind entertainer that feeds the soul. Nigel's aim is to inspire and empower people to rediscover, reconnect and re-image what is and what can be available to us, love. His purpose is to show people that love is always available, present, and exists in all of us. His vision is for all to freely express, share, and spread every facet of love. Whether it is eros, philias, or agape for self or others. His goal is to spark a revolution shift in consciousness. His mantra, "Every day is Valentine's Day," is used to encourage more people to embark on a journey that exemplifies all that is love. His mission is to use various artistic mediums such as poetry, books, theatre, film, and music to express, share, and empower others through creative expression to find their way back to love. Let's have one common goal: to love every day like it's our last, and come together to heal, transform, and evolve. Every day can be Valentine's Day. EDXVD. I present to some and introduce to others, Nigel Birch Jr.
Sorry, I need to take a minute. Wow, Nigel Birch Jr. Welcome to KUUMBA Showcase. It's an honor and pleasure to have you here with us, here in the UK, International KUUMBA Showcase. When I first heard Black woman, especially, I think it was during the lockdown was the first time, or it was a reminder when it came back again, and I was like, who is this guy? Like, who is this man who's so in tuned So he's got the vibe, he's got the spirit, he just knows about women. Like, hello.
Hey,
Black man.
yo, black woman.
How are you?
Oh man, I'm feeling blessed, fabulous today. Feel good. I'm glad you invited me onto your platform. Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Blessed.
I didn't know where to start. Where shall I start? With
Where do you want to go?
with black man.
But black man, black woman. That's how this world started, right? So let's start.
Wow.
Come on. You know, so.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to start with your beginning?
Oh, sure. Well, let me just say my name is Nigel Birch. For those that don't know, I am an author, poet, host, mental health, love advocate, and I curate artistic content, especially with inspiration in love. So most of the content I have is a push to redefining that, repurposing that, and bringing people closer to that. And just by the grace of God, my platform has been poetry. It's been writing, and I empower people to do the same thing with whatever vehicle they choose in their life. And that's how I start. So that's who I am as an artist. As a person, I am just a little boy that was raised in Toronto with two fabulous, amazing parents that surrounded me with a lot of love and support, giving me the tools and resources to explore myself, explore this idea that I've now become finally acquainted with as my purpose. And yeah, so I don't know if you have some questions you want to ask about that, but because I can go on a long tangent about, you know, my humble beginnings and the love I have for my family, and you know, so I want to make sure that I keep in line with where you're going with.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It's okay. I'll pull you in or pull you out.
Okay, cool.
Continue, pull you back.
So a lot of people ask, like, where did the inspiration behind the pen come? And I always talk about my father. And my father, again, was a man that initially went to school for journalism, and his course went a different direction. But in that, he was an avid writer, an amazing writer, one that I copied for a very long time, the way he wrote. And I guess it's kind of ingrained in the Birch DNA to be writers, to be thinkers. We have a lot of men in our family that are philosophers. So we like to think, and we have a lot of reflective time and introspective time, and we like to sharpen each other's iron. My dad's specialty was obviously the pen, and not only did he write about various things, he talked about love, falling in love for us, because I have another brother as well. And
you have another brother?
I have another younger brother as well.
Any sisters?
No sister, just one brother.
Okay.
And he used to write me letters yearly. So every birthday was a milestone where he would use his fine penmanship and his poetic prose to eloquently talk about what it means to be four, and what you're coming into the 4 years of your life, or 15 years of your life, or 10 years of your life.
Wow.
And he would do it with, like, fully framed. There would be a picture.
Wow.
Which in twofold was important for my manhood and how I look at myself as a man, but also to see artistry in motion. So for him to do that, he didn't have to, but it paved the way for my interest and my curiosity in writing. So I just pretty much took the baton from what he did and just took it to another level. And he gave me enough tools, and I was able to kind of frame who I want to be through art, through poetry. I always talk about as well is we used to have road trips. So me and my dad did a lot of stuff because I was an only child for a very long time. Okay. So, you know, whether my dad was a natural Renaissance man, so photography was big for him in his catalog, writing was big, you know, philosophy was big. So I always was part of that. So, and live music was big for us. So we used to go to a lot of concerts. Buffalo was across the border, so we would drive there, and Luther Vandross was like one of my first concerts. So I was introduced to R&B.
One of my first.
Well, come on, I'm talking about 7 years old. I'm seeing panties being thrown on the stage. I'm like, wow. But I was so amazed by live performance. And I think I say that's where the soul comes from in my live performances, and obviously my pen comes from my father.
Embedded in your spirit.
Exactly. And of course the church and that aspect. But
okay,
there was always soul music in our home at all times. There's always some form of soul or art in our home. So I was surrounded by that. My mom's in beauty as well. So there's creative elements all around us. And yeah, we were tied to the hip. So I was able to foster and hone my craft by just observing him, and then taking the talent that I had and defining my skill set by learning about like literary devices and how to become a better writer along the way as I got older. So that was big for me, you know. So again, I always give thanks to the Lord and Savior, but my parents have fostered and created a silo or an environment for me to become who I am today. So I always give them thanks and praise. Absolutely.
So you was brought up in the church?
Well, the church is part of our family, but I didn't really get into the church. My parents weren't into the church heavily. They all both sides come from Christian homes, but it was in the home. I think later on, I really started to dive deeper into my walk was probably like 18, 19, but God was always in the fold for sure. Spirituality was always in the fold.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that's, you know, I think that's where I talk about my cup being full, and I give the way I do from my art is because my cup is always full. It's not even only my parents. I have a very large family, and we're a real tribe, and I have a lot of people, men, women, aunts, uncles, cousins that I talk to and have protected me along the way, and seasoned me for the plethora of experiences that I pull from. And of course, my own walk with love and heartbreak and pain. And I'm a person that uses myself as a test dummy, as I would say, for learning and
life's experience, huh?
Life experience.
Yeah, it's the best experience.
Best experience, and trying to be better the next time. You know.
Yeah,
and,
learn from them.
Yeah. My parents, even though they had a divorce, early on, they had like a marriage that I wanted to have for myself. 13 years of watching them do what they do set a tone for how I want to look at relationships going forward. So yeah, it was amazing to have that example, and now take myself on a journey and embark on that as well. Looking, or hopefully one day we will say it will happen sooner than later. Hopefully in the next year or so, find a bride to be or something like that. You know, we'll see how that looks. But
okay, so you're single.
I am single.
Okay, ladies. All the single ladies. All the single ladies.
I'm single. I am. I know my parents are waiting for grandkids, but they always say, "Nah, it's nothing before it's time." But they're ready to love on someone else. So I don't want to make them wait too long. But you know, the focus right now is the purpose. It's delivering the content and, you know, books and art and theatrical plays and all of that stuff that I dive into until I can't do it anymore. So we're just at the beginning. We're just starting, and I'm enjoying the journey right now thus far.
Can I ask you your age as the
I am 38 years old. 38 years old. Yeah, just turned 38 November 14th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I believe there's somebody. Huh?
No, you can't see the grades. Oh, you can't see the grade on screen, but we got someone here. Someone's here.
There's somebody in the waiting room.
Yeah. I think somebody very.
Can't have them waiting too long.
Yeah, let's bring them up. I think I got the man that has defined me and helped me define and craft manhood, and inspired a lot of my skill sets, and a man that I adore and love. He's my friend, role model, confidant.
Nigel Birch Sr., can you hear me? If you can, unmute, please.
I can hear you.
Show thyself. Sorry, you was humbly waiting. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, and see you. Welcome to KUUMBA Showcase. Actually, KUUMBA Showcase International.
Thank you for having me.
You're the man behind the man. Or the man beside the man. So you're the king. You're the king. You're the senior king.
I'm the prince. Yeah, absolutely.
You're the prince.
Coming to a king of my own as well. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So how your son was just talking about how you were a Renaissance man and you wrote him poetry on his birthday every year. Where did that come from?
From about 10 years old, I introduced it to him. And it started by me writing personal letters. So even to this day, if you look at my computer, there were letters. Once he turned, I think 11, I started writing him these personal letters. How to be a man, and through that, I mean, those expression of poetry came to. So a lot, I'd say from about 10 years old, when I started writing personal. So every birthday, I'd write him a personal letter.
Yeah.
And so now we're 10 years old. And this is what I want to do.
That is a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing to have a man write poetry to his son. That's unheard of.
Yes, yes.
So no wonder that Nigel Birch Jr. is who he is.
Absolutely.
Because
so the writing, I think, the writing exposure for him, because I started writing like poetry, and I've started writing these personal letters, which is, you know, I mean, letters, not really reprimanding letter, but letters in terms of life, real life stuff of what to expect, you know, what I expect from him, you know. So that's part of the evolution. I would say that's the evolution of him getting into it. You know that I like creative writing, and I'm always writing. And
so my question to you, Nigel Birch Jr. When you started writing, did you write? Why did you start to write?
Just to emulate pops.
Yeah.
It was just a point of emulation, trying to copy somebody that is doing something that I want to do. I mean, every boy, whatever their father's into at the time, they want to be into. Whether it's slamming changing a tire, or changing oil, or hitting a nail in the ground, they want to copy. So I think it was just a point of emulation.
Well, let me pause you there. It's not every son wants to be like their dad.
That's true.
So it's every son who's close to his dad.
I love the clarification. That is very true. So anybody that has the honor or spends enough time with them, wants to be like them. And I think spending that extensive amount of time, and you know, him incorporating, I think part of it is him incorporating me into, quote unquote, the Renaissance aspects of his life helped, because I think if that was something he did by himself and he wrote poetry and I had to say, what is this? Or if he's taking pictures and I'm not included, I don't think that I become fond of those things. I may be curious, but maybe taking it on as a purpose, I might have took a different course, a different path.
Okay, cool. Do you remember the first time you saw him perform?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I did. The very first time I saw him perform, as a matter of fact, was in Atlanta, where I knew he had the artistic and the poetic skills. And Nigel, remember when we started those grown folks conversation, and it was actually in a hair salon that I actually saw him, and I said, "Wow!" I didn't know he was so talented. I mean, I was very impressed. It was strictly, you know, an audience of younger people wanted to come on and see me, because I've always supported him whatever it's been modeling, whether it's in school. I support him for everything that he pursued. And so the first time I saw him, honestly, in that forum, I knew that he was a talented and he was a gifted. No, I didn't see it in terms of my, you know, my gift or my influence, so to speak. I just saw him in his raw form.
Yeah.
And I knew, and I think that was the stage that probably set to where he is. And Nigel, you can say, you know, those small, intimate, I mean, delivery and what you were trying to do then politically was, I'd say, I didn't see the vision, honestly. I just think it was something that he enjoyed, and I didn't. So, answering to your question, very, 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 very proud not only because it's my son, but just because of the message and the lyrics that he attacks, you know, and it's kind of not many young men would be bold and to kind of attack some of the issues that he attack relationally, you know, in terms of love and romance and just some of the things that I see in his pieces. And it takes creativity, it takes boldness, and it takes you know, a uniqueness and a special gift to want to do that, you know, because I mean, people do things like through music and other art form, but to consistently do this, I mean, like, yes, so I'm extremely proud of him. I'm extremely glad that he found something that he loves, and he's making a difference to other people's life, especially young men, you know, who deal with some issues that they don't love romance, you know, just manhood in terms of some of the things that we struggle. He brings a lot of stuff that makes men want to kind of, you know, open up and look at himself differently. So it's not so about the pieces, but just what he writes, you know.
It's funny you say that, because I never, being a woman, I never thought about men, how men will feel when they hear the poetry, but I know how I feel, and I know how many women feel to hear Nigel's work.
For me, I just want to say just thanks for giving him the opportunity to kind of become bigger and bigger exposure and to continue to be a shining light, because I think we're all here for a call and a purpose. And I think this is his call to be able to use art form to kind of communicate, connect, and to really make a difference in the world. I always tell Nigel, you know, the thing is not to change the world, but if you can change and influence one person, then you'd have done your calling. That's it.
Thank you very much for joining us. Nigel Birch, thank you very much, and have a great evening or day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Back on. So that was an interesting turn. I did not know that your dad was from Jamaica.
Yes, he is from Jamaica. I am Jamaican descent.
Wow. And your mom?
Same.
Really? Why is it in you? Do you know where it came from to dig like that?
Oh, the digging is I think is family. I think we're just naturally, the men and women in our family we're always seeking truth. We're always seeking the best route to a conclusion. I think that's our family. That piece, that personality trait is something that is ingrained in the Birch and the Williams. My devotion to women is definitely my mother. She is so much I can say about Miss Clover Foreman, but she's a flawless depiction. She has her flaws. She's not perfect, but
nobody's perfect.
Your mother is often what you take into how you kind of look at your interactions with other women, and she's done her best to. I think she just has a loving heart, but she's done her best to defy the odds, defy stereotypes, to not. She gives me a reason to rebuke or debunk the idea that Black women are this way. I think it's hard to go against that idea when you see it. And even if you do see it, doesn't mean it's right, but you need to have enough experiences with somebody or different women to say that what that person's saying doesn't apply to me.
You're right.
So I could never, it's impossible for me to have that to say that women are this way when I have one, I've been raised with one, I was breastfed by one, that showed me a complete opposite depiction. So you mirror that, or you tie that to the philosophy, the deep thinking, and then the spiritual journey, then you kind of have, why I write the way I do. And I'm just like, I've always been somebody, like you said, something like why. And I think I struggled with death since I was a kid. I think recently in the last 5 years, I've gotten used, as I've read more and dived into my spiritual journey a lot more, I've become more comfortable with that idea. And I think God says, keep death close to your heart, which has been a gift along the way because I don't take life for granted. But in that, I just always thinking about what is next, what is following, what's going to happen. You're only here for a certain amount of time. I think that was, even that seed of just thinking on that is, why are you thinking about that? You just got here. But I think that's part of who I am, is to always think past just now, think in comprehensive ideas or ideation. What is the grand scheme of things? Why are we doing this? Why am I doing this as a man? Why does she do that as a woman? Why do I love? Who says, what is falling in love? What is versus love? What is, you know, different forms of love? Like, that's just how my mind processes things, and I dive into it because I want to have truth. I want to find peace. And I don't want to run away from the idea that there's as long as I keep on honestly and wholeheartedly, objectively continue to search, then I'll get the answers that I desire. And, you know, again, there a lot of times when you write, it's your personal accounts, but the mere fact that people relate to it and they find healing through it is awesome to me. That's really cool, really dope.
So, okay, we haven't even touched on your work. So,
okay.
Black woman.
Black woman.
Now, is that your first one?
That was the first piece that I ever got noticed for. I would say the first piece that I took a hiatus from poetry or art. Like, I didn't really, I think it got serious when, okay, so let me take you back from it. So yes. We Rise, I did this piece for Black History, and that was when I decided to come back to poetry. That was about, like, let's say about 6 years ago. Did that. It was cool. I enjoyed being out there, just starting to get my feet wet again. And then what happened was I started getting into theater. So I was part of a couple stage plays. And this is where I started to foster my identity around how I'm going to speak, speed, texture, language, connecting to the actual words. And that inspired me to go back and say, okay, how do now I know I can write, and I know now I'm learning this new craft in theater. How can I bridge that theatrical presence to poetry? So what ended up happening was, after I did the stage play, I said, I'm gonna write my own, but it's gonna be all poetry. And then that's when I created HSTW, which is he said, she said, they said, we said. And it did incredibly well. I would love to bring it out there. I hope that me and my guys can take it on the road. It's an amazing play.
I'm an actress too, so I need to be in it.
Oh, I would love for you to come. Maybe if you come out there, we just show you one of the shows, get the lines going. And yeah, so it was about, you know, sexuality, fortitude in relationships, vulnerability, and communication. So we focus on specific areas that affect, obviously, relationships, and it was centered around some of the things that we deal with as people of color, Black people, in regards to fortitude, pushing through and having resistance, communication, how we can better communicate, and how the things that we deal with through the skin that we're in affect how we communicate with our partner. The same with vulnerability and sexuality. I got an opportunity after I did We Rise. I have a piece that I did, which was more of a erotic sensual piece. It was at a live R&B event, which is called Soul Sessions. And I was asked to come out and perform my piece. Very sensual, you know, same energy, same feel. And that's when people start to really like, oh, who is this guy? Who's this guy? And I was asked to do an event called the Black Diamond Ball, which is probably one of the biggest event for Black people in Toronto. So my thought process was, I don't want to be known for the sexual stuff. Like that's easy, right? That's cool. And you know, I love it. I love that. That's part of my repertoire, but I don't want to be known for just this. That was my thought process. So I said, okay, cool. So I started ruminating on some things I wanted to do. And then I was looking at what was happening in the world, and there was a lot of chatter about, you know, Black women, and a lot of my women friends were dealing with a lot at the time, and I just felt a heavy burden of suffering. I'll never understand what it feels like to be a woman, but just through the conversations I was having, I was like, man, this ain't cool, man. This ain't right. And I sat back and I wrote Black woman, like, boom. So I sent it to my aunt and I said, Jade, I want you to listen to this real quick. And I've never heard her respond that way. She said, this is it. This is the one. I'm like, what do you mean is the one? And she's like, this is the poem. This one is the one. And I didn't really think anything of it because I was like, this was just something I felt like I was trying to speak for the voiceless. So Black Diamond Ball comes, I perform the piece, and everybody's reaction was exactly the same as my aunt's. And I was like, oh, this is crazy. So the first comment that I got from people wasn't like, you're such an amazing performer. It was, thank you for having the courage to speak for us. And I was like, wow, that right there made me feel like, first, a couple questions. There's no one speaking for you. You don't feel like there's anybody that's in your corner. And then that's when the light went off. And I said, you know what? Let me go online and see if there's actual videos of men speaking towards Black women, not women, not necessarily people of color, not, you know, people that are from different places that resemble Black women but aren't Black women.
Okay, come on now.
Couldn't find anything.
Hold on.
Come on, bat it off now. Bat it off. And I said, listen, man, you know, we gotta, I have a voice, and I'm gonna use this now to assist in propelling. At the time, that was the primary calling. Let me just do this because I want to. Let me support Black women because I see that no one ain't doing it. So,
hold on a minute. I need to take a minute. I ain't playing.
She ain't playing, y'all.
That's
She ain't playing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I was like, I ain't having that. I'm gonna be out here, even if people feel some type of way. And a part of what was for myself to profess it out loud. When it comes off your tongue and you have to say something out loud, you now have to be accountable for those words, or you sound like a hypocrite. So I wanted to take that on my chest and say, whatever comes off this tongue is what I mean. It's true to word, and I'm gonna hold that going forward. Because now I'm accountable going forward to live by this mandate. So performance is amazing. And I said, you know what? You got to do a video. Got to be done. So that was, the Black Diamond Ball was in February. And
of which year?
2018.
Okay.
And then I said to myself, I was watching, because right now I'm being defiant against the system. I'm saying, anytime I see something that's affecting my sisters, I'm going to be the vigilante. So I said, March, I think it was March 9th, was International Women's Day. So I scanned the Google search, I scanned the hashtags on Instagram. I didn't see no Black women. So I said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put out Black women on that day. We're going to take over that day. And now that's going to be Black Woman Day. So what I did was I did a call to action. I got women that didn't know each other. All those women in the video didn't know each other. And what we even said, we said, you know, I'm going to get 5 guys and we're going to cater to these women. And whatever comes out of that experience is going to be the video. So we
that was the 30 women, right?
Right, exactly. So
I need to apologize because I wasn't able to make it.
I know. I reached out to you.
Yeah, I had a gig. I'm sorry.
And listen, you were there in spirit, though.
Yeah.
You were there in spirit. So, you know, we would have loved to have you. We would put you right on, coming down the steps with a gown on, and with your fan and everything. So, so yeah, it was the synergy of the women in the room was incredible. It was like a spiritual experience, like a seance, because they didn't know each other, and we just wanted to create a safe space. I said, not one woman should be serving. Every man should serve the women wine. Make sure they have the appetizers and they're eating, and they can digest the food, talk amongst the ladies, take the individual photo ops, we had a couple sequences that we wanted them to operate in. We did that. Every woman felt loved and supported, and
wow,
you feel that coming through the video. Like you watch it, you would
hello, I saw the video. I saw the video.
I apologize, and I was just impressed that how organic. You can never do that video again because it wasn't planned. All those women came in that room with that love and appreciation for what we were doing.
It was beautiful.
A beautiful display. The video wouldn't be nothing without those women committing and being vulnerable enough to yield and say, let me know. Because a lot of times we know the optics. Sometimes you come in the room, you may not feel comfortable being with this person. There was so much sisterhood and love. Those women still talk today. So
the energy,
the energy,
the vibe, the spirit, the
vibe, the spirit.
It was just eloquent.
You know, I wanted to, and again, this is what I was saying is artistically, because I have a couple people, Janice, my aunt Joanna, which is one of my best friends. Strategically, I go to these people because even when I'm doing art, I have to be careful of my gaze. So I always go to them to see if I am over sexualizing Black women or if I'm missing something in my display that because there's so much nuances to being a woman that I may not capture. So I'm very, very critical of it's art, but then these pieces are representation of how young girls, mothers, daughters, people that are trying to look at themselves different are going to see. So I want to make sure that I don't miss the mark, whether it's, we know about colorism, we know shadeism, we know the difference in body shaming. We know all these things that when we look at, are these women more exotic? Are you showing the vibrancy and the spectrum of Black women and not trying to make it seem like this is only one type? We were trying to do all of that in the video. So, and even going forward, I try to think that way as well, because listen, Black women come in various sizes, shapes, heights, color.
Yes,
age.
we do.
So we got to be careful of how we're omitting and not looking at who may not feel like they're being represented. And I'm not going to get it right all the time. I've never had any problems with the Black woman video, of course, but just going forward, you never know that who you may offend. So I look to those people, my esteemed confidants, to really steer me when I'm doing an art piece that's specifically catered to women, because I'm not here to sexualize women. I'm not here to be the voice for women. I just want to be someone that is supporting and helping to elevate women and empower them the best way I can. So that's how Black women came about.
Okay.
Then,
okay. Well, watching it, like I said, it was the energy came through. It was just so beautiful to watch. It was beautiful women, different shapes and such sizes, different ages, different. It was beautiful. And your mama was in there too, right?
Mom was in Black Dear Mama.
Oh. Okay.
She's the one that came out the forest with she came out the forest.
Okay, yeah.
So I try not.
Go ahead.
People ask me why wasn't she the woman at the end of the bed, and I was like, we're trying to do something different creatively. I think that would be the obvious thing, but I didn't want to use my mom for that part. I wanted her to be outside of her son and just be in her all her glow and womanhood. And this is not about him. This is about me coming out the woods. I'm Mother Nature. I'm coming out of here. So I wanted to give her a moment outside of me. So that was important for me to do, to have her in that, just to celebrate at least something with me.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that.
Black woman. I would be a fool to think there's something more astonishing than the way you wear your mahogany as if it's your birthright. I've seen it with my own vision. You're the only thing that's caught my eye but still worthy of the throne, because everything you do is a clear indication that God spent time on your creation. Black woman. When I was a man boy, I used to enjoy playing make-believe. I wasn't mature enough to understand your gospel, so I didn't believe in you. I just picked at your scriptures and filled in the gaps with my own conclusions without reading your whole story. But you are the most beautiful novel ever written. Black woman. You've opened me up in ways that can only be explained through divine intervention. When life felt claustrophobic, you were the opening on fire escapes, climbing through my exposed wounds that were too sensitive to touch. Black women were privy to my secrets. I only expressed the rooftops where endless screams were heard and tears are forgotten. They carried a lantern through my darkest corners and found the remains of my self-love. A black woman made my potential her deity. She's the only one that truly had faith in what she was yet to see. Black women are known for their curves, but carry most of their weight on their tongue, strong enough to lift a man's spirit. Oh, I love my black woman. Black woman, you are deserving of so much more. I speak on behalf of the men that have failed to protect you, always having a justification for why your skin doesn't deserve to be abuse-free, and would rather you pay for their sins because they're too broke to take accountability for their actions. I will humbly become your living sacrifice. I'm indebted to you for all the senseless men that see you as no more than a commodity and turn a blind eye to your trauma, leaving you with the permanent sense of arrogance that smells like male privilege. I'm indebted to you for all the men that have remained silent in the face of your mistreatment and rejection when you need us to be the reverb that echoes your sentiments. Black woman, your womb carries our baby, so I put respect on your name. And I'm eager to love you because for centuries I was forbidden to out of fear of losing you. Black woman, I want to be your organ donor. I promise to give my heart to the one that needs it most. You, my black woman, not only at first but at last will be together because you mean the world to me. No other woman on the planet has endured the plight you've experienced, so I apologize in advance for the men that misinterpreted your strength as some sort of posturing that says you're better than them. Through all their insecurities and projections, they're yet to see that the motion picture of your life has always been a frontline war. And when one man is down, you gotta pick up your bootstraps and keep on surviving. Our black women are surviving. How long will you have to carry the load down lonely roads before we step up? Black woman, you are enough. There is nothing missing from your recipe. You are the brown in my sugar, the flavored shot of caramel in my coffee, the grinds of cinnamon in my heart. Our love can't be measured, but we add up. We are God's match before human mutual interest and cosmic compatibility. I've cheated on self-hate and I have a love affair with your melanin. Your beauty is never in question. I'm ready to give your feminine energy a comfortable space for your temporary moments of weakness to find refuge. I'm committed to removing the barriers built by men laid with bricks cemented with infidelity, lust, and lies. I want you to hold on to your attitude, but allow me to bag the angry chip on your shoulder created by false promises of headship that couldn't anchor your stability. Black woman, I am your black man. And I know some days it doesn't feel that way, but trust me, I'm your ally. And I'm hurting too. But with courage comes great sacrifice, and I'm committed to removing that fear for you, black woman. Never be apologetic for your sense of strength and responsibility. It's you that continues to restore the black man's dignity. When we rise, I promise I will not stop your right to human liberty. Black woman, you are my equal, and I don't find your completeness a threat to my manhood. So allow me to be the sum of a man that loves your total woman. Black woman, let me love you.
Black woman.
I love you, black woman.
I love you, black woman, for your strength, resilience, and for loving me.
For your beauty.
And your loyalty.
You are our nourishment.
Black woman, I love you for holding me accountable, for loving me with and without my flaws.
Lost Treasure was strategic for me to be there, but I like...
Sorry, stick a pin. Did you say Lost Treasure?
Lost Treasure. Lost Treasure.
Go ahead. Are you gonna? You can't be in my interview and not say not. Do you want to perform one of them? Do you mind?
One man's trash is another man's treasure. I can still see the regret of. No, I can't. I was gonna perform it too. Yeah, Lost Treasure is a great piece for me. It's actually about one of my partners. I'm trying to not use the word ex anymore. I think it
okay. One of your previous partners that you
one of my previous partners. That was her experience, And again, it was
okay.
It wasn't even about what I had. It was about, I remember her recanting or going back in that time as we would have these open discussions about things she's been through. She was still hurt by how that person perceived her and the things that were done to her, you know, affected her on a very, very heavy level, where she had to now obviously unravel that and build back and rejuvenate her self-esteem, find self-love, dive into herself and healing. And that was almost like I'm proud of you. And not only am I proud of you, I want you to know that you're treasure. And that's, you know, the Earl Grey comment. She liked Earl Grey tea. So there's specific things or specific symbolism in those pieces, in that piece per se, that she knows when she listens to that piece that that's about her. And it was good. Like, I like to have those moments and those feelings where, based on, okay, I'll just say part of my writing process is I don't write to write, I write through feeling. So I wait for whatever heaviness, like if I feel, some days, I was just talking about this with my friends, some days you wake up and you feel sexy, you feel sensual, right? So there's a flood of energy that comes through me that represents whatever emotion that I'm feeling. And I write as soon as I feel it, because the heaviness of that joy makes the pen move. The heaviness of the anger makes that pen move. So that's how I usually write. I write a piece, I have to sit in that idea, that energy. But if I'm writing just to write, it's never going to hit the same, because it's not going to carry the same emotional impact. That's why Black Woman, I was feeling the weight of the women in that moment that I was hearing. I felt like I was being drenched in, and I was like, write, just write it out. It's therapy, and also it's going to be something that's going to be something you value and you go back to and you feel, and can use it as a way to empower yourself when you feel like you may not be doing enough for Black women, and then empowering Black women. So yeah, I kind of feed off of that energy that the divine gives me, and I just roll with that. So yeah, like from Lost Treasure, like I said, that was one that was inspired by my previous partner, and I used that energy to fuel that. And Dear Mama.
Can I ask which movie you was referring to in Lost Treasure?
Oh, that's like every rom-com.
Oh, okay. I thought it was something specific. Because one that came to my mind was Love Jones.
But
do you remember when she left to go? You haven't seen Love Jones?
Of course I have. That's my favorite movie. But I remember when she left. Yeah. He didn't go after her though.
He did, didn't he?
No, he let her go. That was the point of contention, is like, if you want her, then let go of the ego.
Hold on a minute. So which
people out there in the virtual world, whoever's listening to this, if I made a mistake about my favorite movie, don't hold that against me, please.
No favorite. Listen, when I watched Love Jones, right, and it's the first, I watched it in the cinema, but the first time I watched it at home is the first movie I finished watching, and I put it on again and I watched it again.
Hey, baby.
I watched it back to back, literally. And then when I finished, I picked up my pen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I started writing.
Yeah.
That's the only, I can watch that
all day.
All day.
You know what's so great about that movie is the dialogue in between. That's what I love about it. It was such a real display of interaction when people on the same level get together and they're trying to, again, like that's what I was telling you about. That's like my family. It's the truth. It's the philosophy. It's sitting around with the idea that you want to dive deep into some idea. Like even the conversation about if God was a woman, like just that whole, who thinks of that? But that's what the random conversations you have with your friends when you're on that level. And I think that play was so phenomenal. That's what was so great about the movie. Of course, the way it was filmed, and of course Nina and Darius and you know, can I be your slave?
You know what I'm saying? But that came to mind when I heard you. You reminded me of when he was on the stage, and I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
I do get that a lot, you know, and you know, I all love, and I think I appreciate that, and that is my favorite movie. I love that scene. I love the way he commanded the audience. I loved his poise, and you know, there's a little bit of Darius in me, but again, it's like, you know, it was even but beyond that. It's such a phenomenal movie. I definitely enjoyed it. But Darius, good job, Darius.
Good job, Lorenz. Take me along. Yeah, moving on. It's not about them. It's about Nigel Birch right now. So, oh my God. So I finished listening to Lost Treasure, and then I picked up my pen.
Oh, wow. Okay, I like that.
I picked up my pen and I started writing. And I uploaded it all. I mean, I can't just single one out of all, but I do love Lost Treasure. The way you picked her up.
Yes.
And just basically told her ex-guy, told him, you know, where you lost your treasure.
But thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. Because you don't know what you had.
Exactly. I like that. Perfect. I'll take it from here. Don't worry.
Yeah. So, and you know exactly what to do with her. And you told him.
You know, calmly. You know, there's no problem. Because if that doesn't happen, I don't meet her. So, you know, I'll take
and
that.
the video to that is also powerful, because you're just sitting there with your mic and you're just telling him basically nah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much that's what's going on, for real.
One man's trash is another man's treasure. I can still see the regret of your ex who spent time sifting through the garbage that he dumped just to find what he's now realized a collector's item, whose love belongs to me, which is you, because he didn't see your value. But in his twisted mind, he thinks I stole you. Shoot, I did what he failed to do. I consoled you. I separated mice from men and refused to bait you in with cheesy lines that had you blindly walk through traps full of trauma. I can still smell the ashes of the hole he burned into your soul, leaving you with hands shaking cereal boxes down to the last drop empty. I was there for the downpour of tears that we boiled to make Earl Grey tea to ease the pain of a turbulent past you couldn't stomach. Shoot, it was so bad you couldn't even take my sugar. It was processed. I mean, it was a process to get you to see that I love you and to show you I'm not him, not them, not the boogie and the men that danced around love with no intention to give it to you. Their aim was solely to play games with you. But I refused to jeopardize our fortune with some silly love connection because the price seemed right. I said I refused to jeopardize our fortune with some silly love connection because the price seemed right. But I'll willfully play possum with your past so it's dead to you. I'm on a conquest to remove the mildew off your crown jewel that's made you second guess the quality of your treasure. So I have you appraised often to assess the equity in my investment, because unlike them, I'm not willing to lose you. But I do understand your ex's frustration, and for them, reminiscing must be like, you know, that romantic film where the guy connects all the dots, realizes she's the one, so he tries to figure out what train station she's at, starts running really, really, really hard in hopes of getting to that platform for that moment of forgiveness, but then I'm standing there. In fact, that sounds like a really bad horror film, but as of right now, in their current reality, I ain't going nowhere. I get it, she's special. So for any of her exes living with regrets, I honestly feel sorry for you. Because if you know what I know, but you're just now realizing what I know, you missed out on a complete experience with a woman that could have transformed you. But the boy in you wouldn't allow her to explore your maturity and challenge your development, so you stayed in a state of prepubescence, seeking out women with lesser intelligence, but always providing you with attention. I know your type, I know you. But now she's gone, and you've grown up some, right? You're ready. But she's outgrown you. You see, you tried to sell her theories of love with no practical application, but she hired your expectations thinking you could fulfill the role of forever. But you knew damn well you were underqualified for the position. You see, she required a man that liked bangles and earrings, somebody that was willing to jump through hoops for her. So I jumped at the shot to fit inside her hole because my goal wasn't to complete her. It was to assist her in the areas that had been punished by men whose insecurities took advantage of her purity, poisoning her mind with bitters, leaving her broken, on the curb, for dead, someone else's trash. So I picked up a masterpiece and placed a prized possession on a pedestal because you fucked up. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Sorry, I'm taking a moment again. You are a phenomenal, call yourself a prince. You're also a king.
Thank you.
Any woman who hears that can hear the love. Not even woman, anybody, man or woman, can hear the love. They can hear the energy. They can feel the energy. They can feel the vibration. They can feel the spirit. And the spirit is not common. It's not a common thing. So when you delivered that, which every Black woman needs to hear, it's very encouraging, it's very uplifting, it's very enchanting, it's very, not it, they, well, yeah, it's your words. It's powerfully powerful. It's wonderfully wonderful. It's awesomely awesome. And that still is not expressing how I'm feeling. And it is a wow, and that's why I needed to, thanks to Consciously, for wasn't for her and sharing the interview with me. Then I saw her do the interview, and I'm like, and she didn't get me to contact you. It wasn't through her the way I contacted you. I had to find you. I didn't have time to go to find the middleman, so to speak. I just like went straight to the source, and that's who I am. The women out there who will hear your heart. I just want to say to you, I don't know how much more time we have. I know we've gone way over time. I don't know if you want to say more, but I just want to get this in.
Yeah.
Like you said, you know, once you've got it on your head, you want to deliver.
I'm with you, absolutely. I love it.
So I just know that there is so much more. If this is just you at the beginning.
Yes, amen. This is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning for you. You are going to, you know the higher heights. When they say higher heights, or the sky is the limit, the sky is not the limit. The sky is in the way. The sky is in the way.
Oh, no.
Because you have something so special, so unique, so powerful, so I can't find the words, but then you do know English is not our native language. We are African, and I know there's African words that fail me at the moment that will be able to express, you know, I can't get the words, but expression of how I feel when I hear your expression to Black women. We have been so dismissed, and I am seeing more and more videos to the Black women, which is so beautiful, especially at this lockdown where it's so much needed because many of us are alone. And so to hear that encouragement, and you know, when we want to be comforted. Yes, we have scriptures. Yes, we have people who want to speak to us in what can I say? I say a spiritual way, but it's not spiritual so much. You are very much spiritual. That we know, because you are connecting to the spirit, right? So I'm in awe. I'm in awe of me. This is surreal right now for me.
I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate that. All those words, I'm just receiving it. I'm just taking it in right now.
Yes, it's about, yeah, you take it in, because you're a black man. And when I started to communicate with you, I didn't even remember using your name. I just called you Black Man. Black man.
Yeah.
Thank you, black man. Thank you. Because there's not many, even those who's in relationships are not receiving that.
And that's a great segue. That's a great segue too, because that's why I created Memoirs of Mona. This is why I created Memoirs of Mona, for that very reason, for us to start pondering on the idea of what love really looks like in our personal life.
Can you hold it up?
Memoirs of Mona, Seasons of Love. Out now. You can get it at Nigel Birch is EDXVD.com, or you can go on my Instagram page, hit the shop button, break the book to have people look at love a little different, or look at the various versions of love and not get stuck in one season, because we need all seasons. We need the self-love season, which is spring. We need fall, which is falling in love. We need unconditional love. We need to affirm our women. So all of that is in the book. And I just want people to have various perspectives. And even if you're in a different season in your life, you can look to a chapter and say, you know what, this is where I'm at, and be uplifted by that, knowing that you're not alone, or you feel like someone gets it. So that was the reason why I created Memoirs of Mona, out now, put up properly.
Would you say this is a book for a man to buy his woman, or a woman to buy her man?
I think it essentially, I would say it's a unisex book, meaning that the only chapter I have, which is the last chapter, which I will read something from the last chapter, which is Queen Bee, is all affirmations towards women. But the 4 seasons in itself are like winter is a man talking about his mistakes, what he's dealt with in his experience with women, and also what he saw that he possibly could have read through his perspective went wrong, on how he looked at his partner and saying, okay, these are the things that I didn't appreciate. But it's all things that people can relate to, whether you're a man or woman. But I think the only chapter, which is Queen Bee, would be something where a man can still, refer to, and if he's trying to elevate his mother, or you can say mother, wife, or daughter, and he doesn't have the words to say, this is what I want to say, but I couldn't articulate it. But Nigel Birch has some words here for me. So I would say definitely most of the people have been women, or they've been given to mothers and daughters, but some men have, and they enjoy it as well. So that would be definitely great. And then we have the Black Woman Scroll. I'm going to unravel it for you. This is a velvet scroll. It's about like 30 inches long, so it is not small. And as you can see,
just do it that way for a second.
This way?
Do it, yeah. Just do it lengthways, yeah.
So this is the whole.
Wow! You can't even. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it says, Black woman, I'll be a fool to think there's something more astonishing than the way you wear your mahogany as if it's your birthright. I've seen it with my own vision. You're the only thing that's caught my eye, but still worthy of the throne, because everything you do is a clear indication that God spent time on your creation. So this is the one. This is the full piece on here. And again, Nigel Birch.
So that is Black Woman Extended.
This is Black Woman Extended. So that's that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you can purchase these items on my website if you are interested, or you see it as a great thing to have in your home, which I believe it is. So yeah, the Black Woman Scroll is on sale, as well as Memoirs of Mona. And Yeah, so the book has a couple chapters, and the last chapter, which is called Queen Bee, is a chapter specifically devoted to affirmations towards women. And so I'll read Looking Forward. And this is a piece that I like. And it is, there is a man out there who will touch you more than words on Hallmark cards. He will awaken commitment from its coma, putting to rest men from your past who slept on your worth. He will want nothing more than to be called integrity instead of boyfriend because he's a man of his word.
Mm-hmm.
He's not scared of your pain and is okay with sedating your nightmares with Novocaine, triggered by men that don't exist no more. He wants all the smoke. His goal is to burn down your past with incense and make his heart your new home. So, you know, I try to, you know, I wanted to just have something where if a woman read it, a daughter read it, a mother read it, they could capture the essence without my voice on it. But of course, you know, I will put out an audio book for that. But I think I always wanted to, when I look at art, I just always want to give something different than anything else. It's like having different children. I want my mixtape messages to sound different from my book.
Okay.
Different from the content I put on Spotify, the streaming platform. So people have various versions of who I am. So that is one book of 7. So I have 6 more books that I have. Some are almost complete. Some are, you know, about 50, 60 pages in. And then I have the stage plays, and that's, you know, what we're building upon right now. And I'm going to continue to put out content and shift the consciousness is what I'm here to do, is move from fear to faith to love and purpose. That's what it's all about. So listen, man, this is incredible. I feel the energy, the synergy in this conversation, but this has been great. Absolutely.
So are you constantly writing? You're constantly busy?
Every day. I think I meditate, and I use those. I don't take for granted the fact that my meditation and my prayer and my affirmations and gratitudes are all the reasons why I'm able to receive messages from the divine. So I do not take that for granted. I always make that a part of my practice, and I know that that's where the openness comes, because with clairvoyance and I can receive messages, I try to make sure when I meditate, there's a mantra that I do, and pratyahara, if I'm pronouncing it right, is control of your senses, and it's the control of, you know, taste, touch, sound, smell, and sight. And I used to say that a lot, and I didn't really understand from a spiritual perspective what that meant. And now I understand that I have to be careful of what I'm taking in, what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, what I'm eating, or tasting.
Okay.
And I use that as a means to make sure that I'm taking in the right content to inspire my growth and my artistry. And I use that also as a way to block out all of that so I can be centered and clear, whether it's through meditation and everything I'm doing, so I can receive the message when it does.
Yes,
I identify, like I said earlier, when that rush comes to me, it's time to write. It doesn't mean that you do anything else, but that's God saying it's time to write. Like that's what it is. So if I'm not clear, I don't catch that message. So I always try to make that part of my practice and ritual daily, so I can get to that place where I'm able to write. And it happens every day. Every single day I write. So I will continue.
How much part of your day does it?
It doesn't take long. It just takes one line. Once I have the line, I'm gone. The motions takes it. And that's one reason why I continue to do the 11 mixtape messages, to keep my pen sharp, and to be disciplined and continue to. I have a piece coming out shortly called Beloved, and there's going to be a Beloved project that I'll be doing with a close friend of mine, Mark Studdard, and it's about bridging the gap, bridging love between Black men and Black women. And it starts with the Prince opening, dearly beloved, we've been gathered here today to celebrate this thing called life. And then it goes on from there, you know, and it's a very poignant piece about moving the restraints and saying, I'm gonna push and love at all costs. So, you know, I'm excited about that. And again, those things come easy because I'm practicing every day. So when I'm called to do something, I can, you know, someone says, I need something. And I'm like, okay, what is it about? Meditate on it and I'm ready to go. So, you know, there's no such thing as luck, there's only preparation or being prepared. And that's how I've prepared myself for these moments. Just being ready by being sharp. But yeah, I can talk to you all day, but you know, but there's a but. You know, it's been amazing.
Thank you. So, but you've got an event as well, right? 30th?
Yeah, I do.
What's happening then?
Just a speaking engagement. I'm gonna do.
Oh, it's not online. It's not.
No. It's gonna be at someone's house, but it's gonna be small audience.
Oh, okay.
But I don't even know how I'm gonna perform. I think it's just more of a sit down, open discussion about love. So, if they need me to perform, I might do something, you know. But it was amazing being on here today. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
You have a very calming energy, very grounded. So I like it still.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Thank you so much for answering the call. Thank you so much for being my guest, my first online guest in this environment what we're in. That's all I'm going to talk about. That don't want to spoil what we just spoke about.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank you. I just send so much love back at you. And I hope we do work together some way, somehow, because I see some kind of way. And yeah. So come to the end of our discussion. So much interview. It was nice to have King Birch with us, and we have King Birch with us again, Nigel Birch Jr. King. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm grateful, and I give thanks.
Love every day like it's your last, and every day is Valentine's Day.
Yes, we didn't even touch on that, but maybe another time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll be back. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Dear Mama, I'm not gonna wait until your death for a man to celebrate your breathing the way that I do. You carried burdens across glass lips without breaking a smile, gave birth to a whole child while spoon-feeding the egos of men that couldn't step up to the plate with their own cutlery. When I used to wipe your tears, you told me to remain strong because you knew you had no man to rely on to shift the pounds of stress that was weighing down your discouragement. And even though I was too young to understand why you were dying within, that never stopped me from trying to live up to the expectations of manhood that wanted to protect its mother, but I was just too boy, so I fell short. It hurt me to see that love only came by way of conditional commitment, where waves of emotion sickness were too frequent to ignore. You developed a chronic condition because loyalty was unavailable to provide healing for years of your vulnerability, being exposed to maltreatment you didn't deserve. I hated seeing you chase after men that took your advantage, running toward shame, because to them, deserting women was sweeter than becoming fluent in intimacy. You worked so damn hard, and you were never given the opportunity to clock out of your strength to be pampered by a man who was willing to give the bags under your eyes that carry overtime a day off just to feel what it's like to be loved sometimes. You never made excuses even when you felt the pain of arthritis tattooed to your knuckles from pushing against hardship that tried to strangle the life out of your self-worth. You were always first to say I love you. As a reminder to never forget where the sound of home travels from while the men in your life drifted away at war within their own manhood. Mama, I appreciate you for all that you've endured. Always being asked to do more or be less. Give love but less strength. More sex but less intense. Be everything but not too much. Short but don't shine. Ain't nobody got time for that. You've always been my light that illuminates at crossroads. And you've earned everything that intersects with your personality, your blackness, your feminine and masculine energy, your love, your grace, your tenacity. I look up to you, mama. So never lean your chin down to think about stepping off of your throne. The ground isn't clean enough to be worthy of your steps. It's because of you I cherish the black that every woman stands on. I appreciate you, mama, for all that you've done, the sacrifices you made, the scars that remain that stem from your stomach like varicose veins. I'm the birthmark that branded you with this inscription. Those marks have nurtured my eyes to see life through the lens of mothers who've carried melanin bodies in the darkest corners of their womb's manifestation. Black mothers, I appreciate you for the cause that played through the empathy of your voice, through the encouragement carrying our ancestors on your tongue, through the soft whispers of your touch that can calm the uneasiness on my skin. Black mothers, I appreciate you. I see your beauty in the molasses covering your bones, in the comfort stored in the fullness of your lips, in the ocean current that waves and curls through your locks and through your soul that's carried in each one of your strides. You are nature's personification in the female form, and I'm just a byproduct of your perfection. A black woman who's curated my anatomy and clothed me with the origin that drips all over my flesh. So how could I not honor you? How could I be the fool that doesn't love you? You are the matriarch of my blackness. Without you, there is no life. You are the author of my beginning. Without you, I don't breathe. Your signature runs through every word that I utter. I am a black man because I came from a black mother. I didn't stutter. I said that I am a black man because I came from a black mother, so let me be clear. You are the flower that grew out the concrete that still managed to produce enough nectar sweet enough to love your soul child, despite the world trying to trample all over your ebony. And for that I will do whatever it takes to preserve your essence. I will be your servant ministering your word, and you will forever be the world's gift and not be forgotten. Black mothers, I will always be the ultrasound to your heartbeat's music that continues to teach me how to love.